New Auburn head coach Alex Golish's quarterback at South Florida has entered the transfer portal. During his time in Tampa, Byron Brown threw for over 7,600 yards to go along with 93 total touchdowns and a 2025 second-team All-American Athletic Conference honors. We do not know if Brown will transfer to Auburn, but there certainly has been antennas as if there will be a reunion down the plains. And that'll do it for sports in our 9 o'clock newscast. Fox 4 News at 10 begins after the break.
Well, it was difficult to find much in the way of any sort of sunshine across North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee this afternoon. We had ample cloud cover across the area and maybe just a couple of extremely light showers. The contradiction there is that we actually did a really good job at warming up through the course of the day. Many of us finished the day in the upper 50s and lower 60s. Really nice quiet night out over the Parkway. I know it's difficult to tell, but trust me when I say we're still dealing with that same ample cloud cover that we had through the course of the afternoon. And if you want to step outside, you'll be able to notice it because it's incredibly warm outside just after 10 o'clock at night, and temperatures are currently sitting in the mid-50s across the Tennessee Valley. They're not going to move much more as we head into the overnight. That cloud cover we had that this afternoon is sticking with us this evening, and it's going to trap a lot of that heat at the surface. So we're just simply not going to be able to cool off. Radar for the most part is dry, trying to pick up on a couple of rogue showers over at northeast Alabama. Other opportunities for rain are in the forecast as we head into your Tuesday and maybe even as we head into your Christmas Eve. We'll discuss it in just a few minutes.
Welcome to your traffic forecast. I'll be breaking down all the latest road closures, traffic alerts, and projects every day so you can get to where you're going on time. We'll start first with Huntsville Utilities. They're closing a portion of Andrew Jackson Way tomorrow night, and it's for pole replacement that starts at 8 p.m. Contractors will close Andrew Jackson Way from Clinton Avenue to Wellman Avenue. The closure expected to last until 3 a.m. Wednesday morning, and you're asked to avoid the area. But if you need to take Andrew Jackson Way, crews will detour you down Clinton Avenue to Russell Street and back to Pratt Avenue. For all the latest road closures and work announcements, go to fox54.com. A major facelift is coming to the I-65 corridor as the city of Athens looks to build a $34 million shopping center, a big item approved at tonight's city council session. The Swan Creek retail development is currently planned for the south end of Brawley Boulevard, just blocks away from the intersection of I-65 and Highway 72. The goal, to make it a central commercial hub. Fox 54's Caleb Aguayo takes us to the site.
More development is making its way to Athens after the city council unanimously approved a massive new investment tonight. City officials say it'll spur a ton of new economic activity. The developer, Swan Creek LLC, is planning a retail shopping center right next to Interstate 65 and Highway 72. The project is expected to include Hobby Lobby and the possibility of stores like Burlington, Academy, Books A Million, PetSmart, and Home Goods. They're set to attract dozens of jobs, thousands of drivers, and millions of dollars in sales as the city eyes even more growth. To meet the infrastructure needs, the city will be working alongside AlDOT on road improvements in the area, planning to use grant funding to get everything ready for construction. But there's no timeline just yet, with some of those involved saying it's just getting started and could be years down the line. Local leaders also say the shopping center will be a huge new addition for the growing number of residents here in Athens. Take a listen.
We've got a lot of work to do, the infrastructure work, but it's an exciting time, and we're growing along with the whole North Alabama area and the city of Huntsville and Madison and Decatur and others. So we're just excited to be a part of it. And again, as I say, keep your local dollars local and shop local.
The latest figures put the development at right around $34 million. It's projected to bring the city about $30 million per year. In Athens, I'm Caleb Aguayo, Fox 54 News.
Mayor Marks estimates the project could take 2 years to finish, but he says that's based on a rough outline with plenty of variables. We've learned a woman was struck and killed at the intersection of Mountain Gap and Hillwood Drive earlier this evening. The incident happened just before 6 p.m. According to Hemsey, the victim died at the scene before she could be taken to the hospital. Huntsville Police Department is investigating, and we'll continue to follow this story and bring you more updates as it becomes available. United Launch Alliance CEO Tory Bruno is resigning from his position after being with the company for more than a decade. ULA board chairs Robert Lightfoot and Kay Sears say in a statement, quote, after nearly 12 years leading United Launch Alliance ULA, current ULA president and CEO Tory Bruno has resigned to pursue another opportunity. We are grateful for Tory's service to ULA and the country, and we thank him for his leadership, end quote. It has been a busy 12 years for Bruno. He helped retire the Delta IV and Atlas V rockets and oversaw the creation of the new Vulcan rocket. Fox 54 this past April got a tour of ULA's Decatur facility, displaying the production line for the Vulcan and Atlas rockets. Bruno led ULA's facility during a significant modernization, which included a $500 million investment, automating 80% of the production process. During the tour, Bruno spoke highly about the Decatur facility.
This part of Alabama has a rich rocketry heritage all the way back to Apollo. I wouldn't do this anywhere else. The workforce here cares about our missions. Yeah, we love rockets because rockets are cool, but really the rocket has no intrinsic value. It's what the rocket is taken into space. I told you that we spent $500 million modernizing this factory. All of that stuff is meaningless and has no value without the keyboard to operate it. This is a place to be.
Former ULA Chief Operating Officer John Elbin, pictured here, now sits in the interim CEO role. He was responsible for the Atlas, Delta, and Vulcan Centaur launch vehicle programs, and he's been with ULA since 2018. The Food Bank of North Alabama, in partnership with Northwood Community Outreach, hosting a drive-through mobile pantry offering free groceries to community members in need. You can stay in your vehicles while volunteers load food directly into the trunks, making the process quick, safe, and accessible. Organizers say the mobile pantry will provide a variety of food items and will continue distributing until supplies run out. That event starts at 11 a.m. tomorrow at Apollo Alternate School and ends at 1 p.m. If you haven't made it to 12 Nights of Santa yet, tomorrow is your last chance. Head to Early Works Children's Museum for an evening of holiday fun, from writing letters to Santa and decorating gingerbread cookies to playing in the snow, making ornaments, and of course, a personal visit with Santa himself. Admission is $13 for members, $15 for non-members, and the event starts tomorrow at 3 p.m. River Tree Church is hosting a free Christmas Eve service tomorrow at the VBC. Yes, that was intentional, Christmas Eve. The evening will feature joyful worship and Christmas music, a message of hope, and a photo booth for memory making. Everyone is welcome, whether you've been a believer for years or you're just curious. The free event will be held at the Mark C. Smith Concert Hall with 2 service times, 4 and 6 p.m. Time is running out to get your picture with Santa at Bridge Street. Santa will be there tomorrow and Wednesday for photos with families, and you can find him near the Apple Store. So if you haven't gotten your holiday photo yet, head to Bridge Street before Santa heads back to the North Pole.
We're talking about some warm air across the Tennessee Valley as we head into both Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Small chance of rain on Christmas Eve. We'll discuss that in a couple of minutes.
Yes, and these bright red holiday plants called poinsettias are pretty, but is it pretty poison to your pets? We verify.
I suppose.
Now, the Tennessee Valley's certified most accurate forecast from the Fox 54 Weather Impact Team.
If you stepped outside, you'd almost never know that it was just a couple of days prior to Christmas, especially if you stepped outside earlier this afternoon. Temperatures climbed into the upper 50s and lower 60s. We saw the 60s over in northwest Alabama, mid and upper 50s everywhere else. In case you're curious, the average high temperature for this time of year, right around 52 or 53 degrees. Now that warmth, despite ample cloud cover across the Tennessee Valley. I know it kind of seems like a bit of a contradiction, but we're going to appreciate the warmth while we can. Live look out over the Parkway, a nice quiet night out over the Parkway, looking north on Memorial Parkway there. Still talking about that ample cloud cover, and that ample cloud cover is going to stick with us as we head into the overnight. It's going to keep us a little bit warmer across the Tennessee Valley. I'll show you what I mean here in just a second. For the most part, radar looks nice and quiet, maybe trying to pick up on a little bit of rain over in northeast Alabama. That rain's going to be somewhat difficult to come by. Whatever rain is actually falling is going to be incredibly light and incredibly isolated. At the same time, I also have a difficult time believing that whatever rain is showing up on radar is actually making it to the surface. We are incredibly dry here at the surface. Our dew points are quite low. Therefore, that rain is going to have to do a lot of work to actually make it down to the surface and actually hit the ground. But I think the dry air mass here at the surface is going to be a bit too much for whatever rain's showing up on radar to actually overcome it. Other opportunities for rain are in the forecast as we head into your Tuesday. I have the smallest chance of rain in the forecast as we head into your Christmas Eve. Odds are better than not. We're probably going to be dry on Christmas Eve. But as you go about your Christmas Eve, maybe you're going to head to Christmas Eve service or even midnight mass, understand that there is a chance for an isolated shower. Dry Christmas Day, other opportunities for rain Friday, Saturday. Best chance of rain is going to come on Sunday. That activity is going to be associated with a cold front, and I'll show you that cold front in the 7-day forecast. Now, here's Futurecast as we head into the Tuesday morning commute and then eventually as we head into Tuesday afternoon. Isolated showers are going to be possible. If it's raining during the Tuesday morning commute, it's going to be incredibly light. It's going to be incredibly sporadic. It's really not going to have a big impact on the overall commute. That is Tuesday morning. As we head into the lunch hour Tuesday afternoon, much the same. Some of us are getting to enjoy a couple of peaks of sunshine. Other folks are going to have to deal with a rogue shower. That theme is going to remain the case even as we head into Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening, and then as we head into the early part of the overnight. A mostly cloudy or a completely overcast sky and a couple of rogue showers are going to be possible. We're not going to get any sort of downpours. That's just simply not what we're going to be talking about as we head into your Tuesday and then even as we head into your Wednesday. Current temperatures across the Tennessee Valley, many of us still sitting in the mid and upper 50s. We only drop into the low and mid 50s as we head into the overnight. We've got a low temperature right around 53 degrees. Above average tomorrow afternoon, temperatures climb into the mid and upper 60s. I've got a high temperature right around 67 degrees, and we're going to get even warmer than that as we head into Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. I've got 70 degrees on Christmas Eve, 72 degrees on Christmas Day. We're going to start Christmas Day off in the mid 50s, right around 55 degrees. Let's take Christmas Eve and kind of break it down a little more, kind of into an hourly sort of a thing. We're going to warm up quickly, later part of the morning already in the upper 50s, mid and upper 60s, 70 degrees as we head into the afternoon, still hanging out in the 60s by the time we get to the evening on Christmas Eve. Have a good look at the next 7 days. It looks like we're going to stick with the 70s until we get to Saturday. Then the cold front comes through on Sunday, brings about a better opportunity for rain. Naturally, it's therefore going to be a little bit cooler. But on the backside of that cold front is a colder air mass. By the time we get to Monday of next week, the sunshine is finally going to return, but I've only got high temperatures in the low and mid 40s.
Poinsettias are a nice added holiday touch to the home, but is it a do not touch for the fur babies? Fox 54 verifies.
Coming up tonight on Trending Topics, Gabe and I are back to discuss our latest predictions for Stranger Things Season 5, Volume 2. Stick around, you don't want to miss it.
Nick 1-2, Nick 1-2, Nick 1-2, Nick 1-2.
The holidays are here, and that means decorating our homes with festive cheer. But if you have pets, you may have heard warnings about certain holiday plants. One claim in particular has persisted for decades that poinsettias can kill your cat or dog. With millions of these plants sold each season, pet owners want to know the truth. Are poinsettias deadly to pets? We verify. Poinsettias are one of the most popular holiday plants. Their colorful leaves can range from a creamy white to bright red. But for years, people have claimed the plant is lethal to cats and dogs. Recent online search trends show people are still wondering about that claim as they decorate for the holidays. So let's verify. Are poinsettias deadly to your pets? Our sources are the ASPCA, Science Direct, the American Kennel Club, and the Pet Poison Helpline. Snap open a leaf on the plant and its milky white sap will ooze out. The chemicals in the sap are similar to those found in detergents. If cats and dogs consume them, they may experience gastrointestinal irritation such as nausea, vomiting, drooling, and sometimes diarrhea. Contact with the sap can also cause skin irritations and include redness, swelling, and itchiness. But all four of our sources agree. The chemicals found in the plant sap are only mildly toxic to pets, not fatal. The Pet Poison Helpline website says claims about pet poisoning from the plant sap are, quote, greatly exaggerated. The Science Direct adds that there are no known deaths from poinsettias ingestion in pets. So where did this myth come from? Experts believe it started from a single unverified case reported over a century ago, and the claim has persisted ever since. So we can verify that no, poinsettias aren't deadly to pets, but consuming the sap and the plant leaves is still not good for them. So to be safe, the American Kennel Club recommends keeping poinsettias out of your pet's reach during the holiday season. The ASPCA says holly and mistletoe, which can cause gastrointestinal irritation as well as cardiovascular problems when ingested, should also be kept out of your pet's reach. And if you have something you want us to verify, text us at 256-382-2692.
Welcome to Trending Topics, where we discuss the hottest happenings and give you our hottest takes. I'm your host, Emily Owen, and I'm joined by our reporter and anchor, Gabe Glassman. Up for discussion tonight, this is part one of our latest theories and predictions for the second drop of Stranger Things Season 5, which is releasing on Christmas Day. So we watched Volume 1. I brought my handy-dandy notebook because I wrote down everything that I thought that I needed to discuss and questions that I have going into Volume 2.
The biggest talking point I think we have to talk about, Will has powers.
Yeah, that's literally what my number one talking point
powers,
is.
guys.
But how does he have them? Where are they coming from?
That's the question that I think
Yeah.
that we're gonna see answered in Volume 2.
Yeah.
You know, something's always been there, right? The point that I wanted to bring up with his powers is it's different to 11. It's different to 1. Someone
yeah.
described it a
They still
lot.
have the nosebleeds, though.
Yes,
they both have the nosebleeds.
So they're all still connected. But I think Will's powers, someone described them as like puppeteering, where he's able to control them a lot more.
And you're talking about the mind flare.
Yeah, the mind flare, yes.
So I have a lot to say, but my notes are literally all over the place because I was writing these down as I thought about them throughout the week and then today.
Probably for the last month,
I
too.
feel like my top one is that Vecna, he's not trying to destroy Hawkins, but he's trying to rewrite time itself as a concept.
That's a decent theory.
Because the Upside Down is what? Still Hawkins in 1983, but we're living in 1986 right now. Well, that's it for tonight's Trending Topics. Thank you for joining us. Be sure to follow me on my socials at EmilyOwenWX. We'll see you next time.
It was a big weekend for a pair of former Crimson Tide quarterbacks. We'll talk about that next in sports.
Fox 54 Sports is sponsored by Alpha Insurance.
Good evening and welcome to sports. As the NFL regular season begins to wind down, naturally the push for the playoffs heats up, and this weekend a pair of former Alabama quarterbacks delivered huge wins for their franchises. Starting up in Charlotte, Bryce Young has the Panthers on the precipice of their first playoff berth since 2017. Yesterday afternoon, Young completed 21 of his throws for 191 yards and 2 touchdowns. He played turnover-free football as Carolina took down the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 23-20, now sitting in sole possession of first place with 2 games left to play in the NFC South. After the game, Young asked about stepping up in high-leverage situations.
Moments like that, it's like, where else would you rather be? You know, I have all the confidence in the world in our guys. I just want to be able to give them a chance, go make a play. They did a great job around me stepping up. Those plays, great pockets. They did a great job of getting open, you know, making catches. So, you know, I trust on those guys, and you know, it's a fun place to be.